Background is a very important element in silk painting. But first I will show how sometimes acrylic gutter wrinkles the silk. That's why I prefer my own resist. So the first method is a solid color fill. And I have mixed the color I want. And large flat brushes are better for large areas. But if you don't have them, you can use the ones you have available. In order to evenly fill the background, there should be a lot of dye on the silk. So the dye will spread over the surface in an even layer, and you will get a smooth, beautiful feel. I'm using dyes today, but it's the same for paints. Let's say you have a medium tone background. Then your image will in some places merge with the background and somehow blend into it. Or you can make a background dark. Then the image will be kind of cut out, but you will get a sharp graphic impression. Or the background can be very light. And when some parts of the image are lighter than the background and others are darker, you get a sense of spaciousness. This was the most obvious way of painting the background. The next way is a gradient. And let's say from light to dark. Here everything is super simple. First, we wet heavily with water the area that we want to leave light. Again, it's important that the silk was a lot wet. The transitions will turn out softer and they will be much easier to make. Then we apply the dye of the color we want on another area and combine them. Your gradient can be not only from light to dark, but it can be two colors in the same tone. It can be 3 or 4 colors. In general, there are a lot of variations. The third way would be more painterly and strangely much easier, at least for me. I really like to paint with short strokes, and I like variations and diversity. But you can do long strokes too. It doesn't matter. In this method, you distribute the color very freely. You can easily change the size of the dots. You can combine them. And if they seem monotonous to you, you can add between them more dots, perhaps smaller. Or even just blur some of them. And here we can think where and how to distribute color and tone more successfully. For instance, we can make the background darker next to the light places in our main image, and next to the dark places leave the background light. And this will give us spaciousness and liveliness. And finally, the fourth option for painting the background. It's even more about composition. I turned my image so that all of it fits better in the frame. Look, if we paint the center of this picture plus or minus the same color as the individual images, and it doesn't matter whether we have butterflies here instead of rectangles, flowers or something else, we will get a very convincing organized center. And we can reinforce this solidity by kind of closing the composition with dark edges. This is the easiest and most win-win way to distribute large spots in a professional way. And this alone will be enough to make your composition look professional and mature. In this case, no matter how you rotate the picture, from all sides it will have balance. And you can also create a pattern within that scheme, as was done in this video. Here's the light center, here's the dark edges, and there is a pattern woven into the whole thing. Of course, there are many other possibilities to distribute spots in the background. If you are just starting to paint silk, with this method you will always be successful and in winning, because it's a compositional basis. But you will learn about how I painted the background this time in one of the next videos. There will be a little different solution, and I think the video will be interesting. I wish you success in improving your silk painting skills, and I'll see you.